Philip Toll, of course, still with us, our international affairs editor. Philip, the scale of what we're seeing here, the depth of the planning, the whole august nature of what we're seeing, it says so much about Britain as a country. It says so much about the monarchy as an institution. Will we see this kind of commitment in future, do you think? Will this kind of thing sustain?
I think it will. I'm not particularly worried about the future of the monarchy in the United Kingdom. I think that King Charles has made it very clear right from the start of his reign, his first two addresses, that he intends to maintain the tradition that was carried on by his mother, and that he will do his best as king to keep the country united, which is his main role, and to not get too involved in politics or with his own personal beliefs in matters, so that the people of the United Kingdom will remain behind him and united by him. And I think everybody today watching this funeral can only really wish him well in what is a giant mammoth act to follow in the form of his late mother.
I'm still trying to get used to hearing God Save the King.
I think it will take everybody quite a while to get used to hearing God Save the King, because we've all grown up, lived our lives under Elizabeth II. Over 80% of British people have no memory at all of anybody before Elizabeth II, who reigned for 70 years. So it will take a certain time to adapt to the new king, to the fact that Elizabeth II is no longer there, that we have really reached the end of an era, the end of the 20th century, the last living monarch of the 20th century, the last head of state still in office in the 20th century. Just a few days after Mikhail Gorbachev, the Queen Elizabeth II has also passed away. So the chapter of the 20th century is now firmly closed, and it's King Charles's job to make sure that the monarchy remains intact for the foreseeable future. I think he can be comforted by two things. First of all, that he knows that William, his son, will take over from him, and he knows that Prince George will take over from William one day. So the monarchy, the succession line, is assured for the future. And secondly, I think he can be comforted by the outpouring of grief, the numbers of people who have turned out to queue for hours to see the Queen's coffin, sometimes up to 15 to 20 hours queuing in the rain, in the cold, all night long to pay their final respects. And all the heads of state who've turned up to London over the last couple of days to take part in these funeral commemorations, celebrations here. It shows that the royal family is still very much a focus of attention and revered by many around the world, and the billions of people watching these images, as we are here in Paris, around the world, also paying their last respects and tributes to the late Queen Elizabeth II. So I don't think there's very much for King Charles now to worry about as far as the future of the royal family is concerned.